Thoughts on Gorilla Monsoon, Rip? You got any thoughts on Gorilla Monsoon?
Robert Morella, Gorilla Monsoon. I remember I called him up one time after, and I told him they needed to book me. WWF did. Mm-hmm. And he gave me a hearty chuckle.
Oh, really?
Basically, he just shook his head and laughed because I was a drizzling shit. Well, he didn't tell me.
What year it was?
77.
Oh, really? It's
yeah,
a long time ago.
Yeah, I'd worked in
early in your career.
I'd worked in the Philadelphia Arena against Georgia Animal Steel, and then the tag champions Fuji and Tanaka, and then I got his number, and because Monsoon, I remember he paid us, and that's the day that Johnny Rod saved me from all the guys were bullying me. I didn't even know they were bullying me because they was just ribbing me, was what it was.
So was Monsoon wrestling at that time, or what was his role?
He pretty much retired as a wrestler. And now this is years later, and you think about it. For years, he couldn't speak English. Gorilla Monsoon couldn't. Then all of a sudden, he becomes the most eloquent announcer in television wrestling.
Where's he from? I didn't know that.
Well, he's from.
Or he couldn't speak English as a gimmick.
Gimmick, yeah. He was.
Gimmick.
Yeah, like he was from Russia or whatever the hell he was. Gorilla Monsoon.
You lost me for a second.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden, then you see him on TV, and he's the most eloquent speaking announcer on television.
So any thoughts, stories? I mean, I know you kind of told a little snippet, but any elaboration on Gorilla Monsoon that I could cut up a clip and put out there?
Well, he was sort of like the enforcer for WWF.
Oh, he was?
If anybody was trouble, he was over big time. He pretty much worked for them his whole career, and he owned a part of the office. He also owned part of the office in Puerto Rico. And he was just a good guy and a good pro. And if anybody got out of line, Gino took care of you.
How big was he?
He was huge.
Was he?
Probably 6'5.5", 6'6", probably about 395.
How was he in the ring? I mean, when I started watching, he was an announcer, and he seemed like a big teddy bear. Was he
No, he was a vicious heel.
Was he?
Oh, yeah, he was a vicious heel. But as far as any good, I wouldn't know at that time. I was just a total I didn't have a clue about the wrestling business. I just wanted to be one. I didn't know what was good, bad, or ugly. Just like everybody's starting out, but they think they're over.
True.
Then you realize later, I wasn't.
Thoughts on Bobby Eaton?
Oh, Bobby Eaton. You'll never hear a bad word about Bobby Eaton. One of the nicest guys you'd ever meet in the wrestling business. And what's so funny, whether it's a baby face or a heel, he hardly ever spoke. And every time I'd see him, I'd rib him because he busted my eardrum once when he was like 17. And I'd always remind everybody.
Oh, he was that young when he did that?
Yeah. And so he hit me in the ear. Boom. I said, damn it, Bobby, you broke my fucking eardrum, you asshole. And he called me Briscoe, like, because I was disco. So he'd Brisky or Disky. I'm sorry about that. You know, I really didn't mean to. I said, no, I heard you telling everybody you was going to do it. And he said, no. And he'd get all red and he'd look down at the grass. He says, no, I wouldn't do that. I said, oh God, Bobby, I'm just ribbing you. Then I'd do the same. Then I'd do the same with him next time I seen him.
Big gold and a billfold, so swole that I can't get the shit closed. So I money fold and rubber band wrap. And when it pops.